Simon & Schuster Audio presents Pandemic Inc. Chasing the Capitalists and Thieves Who Got Rich While We Got Sick by J. David Mcswane. Read by Matt Godfrey.
For those who managed full-time jobs and full-time parenting, and for the children who endured their parents. Author's note. I know what you're thinking. Why, after all we suffered, would I listen to a book about the COVID-19 pandemic? I already experienced it. Not like this, you haven't. The story that will unfold in this audiobook is as outrageous as it is true. What happened to us was unacceptable and heartbreaking, yes. But I do not wish to depress you further. No. Anger is more useful than despair. My goal in writing this book is twofold. First, to make some sense of the larger system churning over our heads and its role in our nation's missteps, that is to say, unfettered capitalism and its byproduct, greed. Second, for posterity. Some unbelievably stupid and tragic things happened. The story of how America's obsession with capitalism left us for dead while pirates plundered is at once anger-provoking and yet, at times, so twisted that all we can do is laugh. I managed to get a front-row seat to some of it. I pray that this story will serve as a guide to future generations on what exactly they shouldn't do if faced with such a crisis. The purpose of this book is not to retrace a definitive account of all things COVID, nor is it to remind people of all the disappointments and horror that we by now have drowned out with Netflix, alcohol, and Peloton bikes. I'll spare you the grotesque post-mortem and thumbsucker dissertations on policy, economics, and global trade. Instead, I invite you on a journey through the shady networks of brokers, scammers, investors, and profiteers who did insane things to get rich while our nation suffered an incalculable loss of life and global standing. They are the inhabitants of a world we encouraged, we created, long before we elected a documented swindler to the Oval Office. This is who we are, though I pray it is not all we can be. It began on a reporting assignment in April 2020. Which involved a mask broker and a private jet. Upon my return, I felt what I'd seen was too bizarre to be molded into the conventions of routine journalism.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?